Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Beaker Tarot. My name is Alan. Sorry, you have to excuse me. I've pulled a muscle onto my right rib cage and it's twitching. So I've just taken a few things for that. So hurts a little bit. It will get better. I'm gonna press on because I'm that kind of person. Anyway, so yeah, I will I pulled it a few weeks ago. Maybe I had like a flu about a month ago, and I pulled it when I was coughing, and then I was doing some work yesterday and I twisted it and I think I've aggravated it, but it's okay. I am an ex-nurse. I know what to do. Vodka. Anyway, so I'm going to press on. So yeah, anyway, so that's why I'll be twitching a bit from time to time, but that's okay. I've been known to twitch from time to time. But anyway, moving on from that, I would just like to say a big thank you to everybody that has subscribed to my channel, liked the videos, and everything else. I do appreciate it, guys. It does mean a lot to me. So yeah, so thank you so much. I did want to come on today and have a talk about a few things and do some tarot because I'm working again tomorrow in the afternoon. So I wanted to come on today and talk about a few things. So just give me a second. I'm just going to clear my throat. Okay, let's relax and press on. Yeah, so like I said, guys, thank you so much for all your kindness. It does mean a lot to me. I'm just going to relax and get through the rest of this, and I do appreciate it. Thank you for your comments, especially regarding my little rave yesterday on the way to work. So I do really appreciate that, guys. So thank you so very, very much. So the first thing I want to talk about was the situation with Gavin Newsom. So he has been trolling El Presidente Taco. I want to talk about this disastrous meeting between the Yeti and Putin, and I want to talk about gay marriage equality or LGBTQ plus marriage equality in the USA, which is currently being challenged by this person. Okay, Alan, don't move too much. You'll be good. All right. So the first thing I want to talk about is Gavin Newsom. So he is obviously the governor of California, as I'm sure all of you guys are aware. Um, so what I want to say about him was he has a website, and I wanted to draw your attention to that. And he's been giving the Yeti a bit of stick lately, as we say in Australia. He's been giving him a bit of curry. And yeah, so I wanted to have a look at that and just see what's going on because I think finally we might be having a face or a person that is prepared to take the Yeti. I better say this to YouTube entertainment only. I'm but a tarot reader, so entertainment only YouTube. Let me just pause and get my sign. Entertainment only YouTube. Entertainment only. But a tarot reader. But a tarot reader from Sydney. Yeah, so Gavin Newsom's got a website, and I wanted to put a link to that in the description box, which I will do. Now he has been trolling the Yeti, which has been quite enjoyable, and which has been quite enjoyable, and putting up a few social media posts. So I just want to have a quick look at him. Like, what's the vibe about him? Um, like I said, I have a good feeling about this guy. I have a good feeling about this guy. And I'm just relieved. I mean, I know that there's Jasmine Crockett and a lot of other Dems are, you know, it's that, especially that middle tier, like the top tier. Well, actually, speaking about the top tier, Barack Obama did go on and made some public comments about the Dems constituents in, I think it was in Dallas, sorry, in Texas, that absconded because they wanted to do that the gerrymandering rule thing. So Barack Obama did go on and make some public comments, or he did um, get on some kind of a video link from memory. So at least that's something that's going on, which is a step in the right direction. So yeah, so that's a good thing. But and I know that there's a lot going on, and there will be a lot going on. But I'm enjoying the fact that Gavin Newsom is just dishing it back. like just dishing the crap back to the Yeti. And if you look onto some of the social media posts, especially if you go to Midas Touch, and I'm pretty sure some of the readers have covered this as well. He talks about he did this post where, I'm your favorite governor, and I wanted to ask for the Nobel Peace Prize, because we know that Trump contacted the group or the people in Norway and said, "Oh, can I have the Nobel Peace Prize?" So it's just, I want one because other people have got one and I haven't got one. Boohoo kind of thing. So yeah. So anyway, let's have a look at Gavin Newsom. Come on down, guys. Okay, guys. I've just finished shuffling, so let's have a look. What's the vibe for Gavin Newsom? Page of Wands, Four of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, High Priestess. Okay. King of Cups. Nice. Come on up, guys. So the first card that I get out for Gavin Newsom is the Page of Wands. So I'm just using Lena's deck. So hi, Lena. Sorry. God, this is sore. Anyway, I'll keep going. Page of Wands. So what this is, I think this is the card of the confident speaker, and this Page of Wands, he's going to take some action, because what it is, he's tired of the silence regarding the Yeti. It's almost like he's tired of this. It's almost like, you know what, someone's got to get out there and start doing something. That's where I think he's coming from. So I think you can expect to see a lot from him. He's going to be making a lot of announcements, a lot of public statements. He is on fire. Yeah, because he's fed up with the sorry, he's just fed up with the relative silence. And like I said, even though I know that there are Democrats and other people that like Bernie Sanders that are out there, but I think it's almost like he's wanting to just really, take the reins, and he's going to start digging up the dirt with the Seven of Pentacles. So this is the card about the harvest. He's going to start looking at all the little things that have been hidden within the Trump administration, and he's going to start making people aware of what's going on. Hey, have you noticed this? Hey, have you noticed that? Hey, do you know about this? Do you see how all these things link together? I think that's what he's going to say. It's almost like he's going to start to, and he's going to be saying things in a very grounded, earthy way. Like to me, he seems to be a very grounded guy. Like his feet are on the ground, his head is screwed on. He's very, very, very grounded. And I think the message that I think he's really trying to get to reach, the people that are working in agriculture. He's wanting to connect with people on a real-to-real basis, as opposed to the um, the current administration. And like I said, YouTube entertainment only, who are just so far removed from reality, it's not possible. He's wanting to take a very grounded approach in revealing things to the American people about the administration, rising up from this to be this confident speaker. And I think with the High Priestess, I think he's a very intuitive guy. Um, I'm wondering if this might be his wife too. I think his wife might be behind him as well, and obviously supporting him. But I think he's going to start to reveal what's behind the curtain, because with the High Priestess, it talks about intuitive. Well, it can mean lots of things, but it talks about being very, very deeply intuitive, and you know using your inner strength, so using your inner emotions and that water energy, and just um using the your intuition and going inside. And I do think, because there is the moon in this card as well, right? So I do think that he's very intuitive, or his wife is very intuitive. um but I think it's going to be just it's I do think he's going to start pulling stuff from behind the curtain to see what is out there when it is coming with regards to the harvest, and with regards to what is out there to be dug up about the administration. if that makes any sense. So expect more stuff coming up from him. And the base of the deck, King of Cups, I'm wondering if we might be having a future president here, a man after Mr. Biden's own heart as well. I wonder if that's his destiny. Just putting it out there, I don't know, but I wonder if that's his destiny to become the next King of Cups. I do think I do think he does feel a lot of emotion about what's going on. But with the King of Cups, like the emotions are there, but he's got it sorted, you know what I mean? Like with yeah, with all the kings, they're all they're all above what their aspect is. Like say the King of Swords, he's got the mental stuff sorted, but the King of Cups, so he's above all his emotions. And I do think he's feeling the emotional energy of the situation of this time. And in a way too, it's almost like with that emotional energy, he's going to be connecting to the people on that really, really grounded level, you know. So I think he's got really good cards. That's my vibe with him. And but yeah, do check his do check his website. Like I said, I've just put a link to that in I'll put a link to that in yeah, I'll put a link to that in my description box. And yeah, I think I found a comfortable place here. I'm feeling a bit better now, which is good. So thank you for all your love. Your love. All right, so now let's talk about this disastrous situation with the Yeti meeting the Putin in I was going to say Russia because that's what Trump said, in Alaska, where clearly there was no deal was made. And of course there was never going to be a deal made. I mean, you know, there was never going to be a deal made because it wasn't about finding a solution to Epstein. There you go. That's a Freudian slip, and I'll get to that in a minute. It wasn't about finding a solution to the conflict in Ukraine. It was about, I think, deflection from the whole Epstein thing. So if I go into here and get into my little thing, once again, YouTube, remember ABE, anything but Epstein, with all these allegations that are going on. And we don't know because we haven't seen the files yet. So YouTube, I'm not saying anything incriminatory. I'm just saying the allegations are there. Uh, I'm not being accusational. I'm just saying anything but Epstein is my vibe. It's my feeling, just my vibe with regards to that. Um, but I do think if you know if they release the Epstein files, then we would know what was going on. Anyway, there's just a lot to go through with this. So basically, so when so the Yeti gave Putin like the red carpet. So it was almost like the Putin was like some kind of demigod, you know, flying in from the stratosphere, you know, oh hail, here he comes, kind of thing. And so there was so the thing ended rather abruptly. I don't know how long they were talking for, but they did have a press conference of such where they basically the Yeti just came out with all this like word salad. You wouldn't call it language. You wouldn't call it anything that made sense. It was just word salad. And he just said, "Oh, there's no deal." Well, hello, you know, no shit, Einstein. Um, the Yeti promised that there'd be, well, promise, you know, I mean, well, there you go. That's enough to know that it's not going to happen. Um, he said he would end the war in day one. That's what he said. That's one of the things that he ran on. He said he would end the war in Ukraine in day one. And it's now been day, whatever, it's 5 months in or whatever it is. Day, one day less until it's over. So, so basically, he had this whole word salad thing. Then he said he was going to call NATO and then call Zelensky. I mean, could you imagine that? I hope Zelensky doesn't take the phone call. I mean, this is so rude and offensive on every level, and taking away the whole thing that Ukraine didn't start this war. This war was started by Russia, irrespective of what the Yeti might want to think. This war was started by Russia. It was instigated by Putin. Ukraine was a peaceful, sovereign country that did nothing to deserve this. And so basically, oh, another thing that happened as well, there was before Putin vanished off into the sky, going back into going back into Russia. Um, there was a moment where they were both on the tarmac, and a reporter was like saying to Putin, will you agree to a ceasefire? Will you stop killing civilians? And then Putin was like, I can't hear. I can't hear. And then Trump put his arm around him, like only good old bros can do. And they just wandered off into the sunset and they had 5 children, orange children. All the lovers. Anyway, sorry, I'm being very rude here. It's hard not to be, well, I'm not being rude. I'm just being so, I don't know. It's hard not to, yeah, I don't know. Could you imagine the kids? Anyway, so yeah, so that ended in a bit of a disaster. Now, like I said, I did do a reading on this before, but the video didn't come out. So I just want to have a quick look. What on earth happened behind the scenes at that meeting? That very brief meeting between the Yeti and Putinska. What happened at that? Oh, my cards are upside down. So what actually went on at that meeting? What went on at that meeting? What went on at that meeting? What went on at that meeting? All right, guys, come on down. Okay. So what actually happened at that meeting? Okay, I'm going to assume that these cards are upside down. You know what? I'm going to see what comes out. Yeah, the deck's upside down. Okay, fair enough. All right, I'll flip those around. Okay, and we'll go to the base of the deck. Yeah, the deck was upside down. Okay. All right. Yeah, all right. Come on up, guys. Let me have a look at this. It's going to put you on hold for 2 seconds. What I've actually got here is the Yeti's, what's the word I'm thinking of? His motive for this. Sometimes it happens in tarot. You ask a question and you ask something, but I've got like a background story here. I asked what happened at the meeting, and I've got why did the meeting, like what drove the meeting in the first place. And yeah, and you'll see this when I start to show these cards. So it's just the grit. So the first card that came up was the Four of Wands. So this is the orange orangutan wanting to join forces with a certain Russian counterpart. That's them having a bit of a love-in. Because at home, the Yeti's feeling a bit pushed up against the wall. He's feeling a bit embattled, if you know what I mean. It's like he's just hanging in there. He's got a few wounds with a few things that start with E, and some of the things that he's been doing. People are starting to notice it, and there is a change happening. There are changes happening in MAGA. So I thought, you know what, I better go and talk to my friend Vlad. My friend Vlad. Look over there. Look over there. Don't look at Epstein. Look over there. So he's looking into the world. He's trying to, for me, I've always gotten the feeling that this was all about distraction, right? And that's what his plan was. Don't look at what's happening in America. Look overseas. Look at Ukraine. Look at anywhere else. Because he's worried that there's court cases and the courts are going to get him. or there's going to be some legal action against it because of what happened with the Epstein stuff. Entertainment only YouTube. But that's what this is all about. This had absolutely nothing to do with Ukraine from Trump's point of view. Nothing. It was all about him trying to distract and, look over there, look over there. So, he just wanted to, and I think also too, I mean, I'm not a narcissist, but I think he wants to, um, I think he wanted to kind of prove to the world, as disgusting as this might sound, I've got, I'm not a criminal. I've got mates in high places that love me, you know, and there are a few things I could really say, um, a few really, really crude comments I could say about this card and what I'm thinking, but I can't say it. I can't say it. But anyway, I will just leave that there because really what's happening with him right now, things are flying thick and fast in his direction. He knows that. In a way, if you're feeling embattled, it's, all these wands are coming for him. It's almost like these guys landed, and there was one more and they've done this, they've pegged him in a way. There's a lot of this, yeah, it's all, I just realized it's all fire. Fire with four of wands, fire with the two of wands, nine of wands, eight of wands. It's all fire. It's all fire. Yeah. Page of Swords. This is the messaging that's going on from both the Yeti and also the other people. There's a lot of messages going on as well. I think this is just all about Epstein. He knows that it's going to defeat him if he doesn't try to manipulate the situation and call in some lovers, call in a good friend to look over there to distract because stuff is coming in thick and fast, leaving him feeling embattled. So I better call in a friend from Moscow and we can just have a bit of a distraction because he knows he's going to lose. He knows he's going to lose at home. And I do think he can see the writing on the wall. But get ready for all the hoo-ha and all the announcements and everything else and the rhetoric that's going to keep coming. It's like this Knight of Swords. I mean, this is one impulsive knight, right? This is like, um, you know, it's all air. Like, look over here, look over there, go charging off. And I think this meeting is just another example of it's like the latest thing that goes into his mushroom head. I was going to say mushroom something else in, but I thought, no, I better not say that. That might be a bit rude. But you know what I mean. There's going to be a lot of this fast energy moving forward. And I mean, it's what he does. It's like flood the zone, get the chaos going on. But there's no thought behind this. It's a knight. There's no thought behind this. I mean, if it was a Knight of Pentacles, yeah, you could say that because it's a slow moving knight, it's a thoughtful knight. But this is all hot air. This is like one cerebral fart after one cerebral fart coming again. It's just like, that's what, maybe the horse is farting. I don't know. But you know what I mean? This is all hot air coming out because he knows, and I better just cover this up. He knows that with the world card, it could be game over for him if this stuff comes out with Epstein. It's going to fully put him to rest. There's a lot of evidence against him. So, so there's the forced messages. If I want to keep going with the Knight of Cups, the forced wheeling and dealing, he's making these, trying to say, oh, I'm going to do this and make this deal against Ukraine. Because he just wants to, I'm good. He wants people to celebrate him. He wants people to, oh, look what I've done to Ukraine, and look what I've done this, and how good I am, and you should be celebrating me because I'm the best president. But but he's howling at the moon. He's literally howling at the moon. So that's what's going on there. That's what's going on behind the scenes. Um, so I think, this whole meeting with Zelen with between Trump and Putin, it was one big distraction, and it was 100% BS. And could you imagine, like I said before, the audacity of actually, you know, oh, hi, can I speak to Zelensky? Hi. Oh, we had a meeting today, and oh, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. I'm sure Zelensky was just like, I don't know. But it's just, yeah, this was all about the Yeti entertainment only YouTube. This is all big one distraction, or as some of the Australian readers would say, it was all one big wank. Exactly what it was. So, anyway, so the last thing I want to talk about is marriage equality in the US. So I've spoken about this before on my channel. So with marriage equality in the US, in 2015, marriage equality became legal. Um, After a long fight, I would imagine that was the case there as well. So, but what's concerning is that so the Supreme Court has been asked to overturn marriage equality, or at least to review it. Now, what's concerning about this is that Judge Alito and Judge Thomas have actually said on record that they do want to overturn marriage equality. And what's also concerning is this could also be a beginning or a continuation of the attempt to roll back LGBTQ plus rights in the USA, and just take America back to the good old 50s, where you know, which weren't so great. I wasn't there, but I've heard stories and I've spoken to people about that time, and it wasn't all that glossy. Now, what's also happened is that the Trump administration has released this report on international human rights, but it's taken out entire sections of discrimination um, information about LGBTQ plus people and racial minorities. So in this new document where the Trump administration has been talking about, where it did a report on international human rights, all the queer stuff is gone, or major sections of the queer stuff is gone, and major stuff of the racial minorities is gone. It's like, poof, doesn't exist. So how this started was, there was a former Kentucky clerk. Her name is Kim Davis. Now she was jailed in, I think it was 2015, for a couple of days because she refused. She was a former Kentucky court, sorry, a former Kentucky clerk, and she refused to issue same-sex marriage licenses to a couple of people on her religious beliefs. And so, uh, and so then, and so then, because that was against the law, she broke the law. They put her in jail for a couple of days. Now, apparently, she still owes in excess of $300,000 in damages and in fees. So that's what this is about. Now, she's been represented by the Liberty Council, which is a conservative Christian legal group. Now, I just want to say just one more thing. I've spoken about marriage equality in Australia before, and I did a quick blurb on this in the video I did yesterday. But what I wanted to say is that um, it was a marriage equality in Australia was a long and hard fight. It was difficult. It was alienating, and how we got marriage equality is the then government, a guy by the name of Malcolm Turnbull, he couldn't decide whether he should make gay and lesbian marriage equality equal in Australia. So what he decided to do, he decided to have a postal non-compulsory plebiscite. I kid you not. So everybody got this letter in the mail. Do you think that gay and lesbian people should have the right to marry? Yes or no? So that was what the decision was based on, about what the Australian people thought. The human rights issue had nothing to do with it. That's how gutless this Prime Minister was. And then on the day that it went through, I still remember he was like, what a day for love. It was just, but he literally dragged the gay and lesbian community through the mud feet first. Absolutely 100%. Because John Howard, that's another story, he changed the Marriage Act. He just did it like with the flick of the pen to say that Marriage Act involved marriage between a man and a woman. He just changed it. There was no plebiscite, there was no consultation, he just did it. So that's the difference. So, so this is a personal issue for me. And like I said, I did meet some American guys protesting in Sydney. It would have been back in 2017 because that's when we got marriage equality in Australia, which was 2 years after it was passed in the States. Now, I did meet there were these two guys that had a poster that, basically a placard that was saying, dear Aussies, we're from the US. If we can get marriage equality, if we can do it, you can do it too. And I did go over and I did spend some time talking to them, and they were really lovely guys. And I got a lot out of their conversation, our conversation together. And I wish I remember where they were from, but they were just these really two decent American guys, and they were just so lovely. And I really appreciated them taking the time out of their holiday to support us, and to see the bigger picture as well. Now, after that rally finished, I'm going to just draw you a very quick map of Sydney. 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. Okay, guys. So here's my map of Sydney, and this will be the most exquisite thing that you ever see in your entire life. There it is. Okay, so this is the south side. So this is Circular Quay, right? So this is the southern side of the harbour. This is the harbour bridge. Over here, that's your Opera House. This is water. So ferries are going here. There's a little railway line. That's the CB. So that's the CBD. That's Hyde Park, and that is Oxford Street. So Oxford Street is where we have the Mardi Gras, and is where the gay bars are. Though we don't have as much gay bars as we used to before because everybody is on Grindr, like the GOP. But we don't shut it down. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. At least I own it. So, okay, so we were down here in Circular Quay where we finished the rally, right? And then what I did is I walked up through Hyde Park. So this was like the last marriage equality rally that I went to. So we had the plebiscite. We knew that the plebiscite was coming. We were trying to raise awareness. And so, we were being victimized by these people down there that, all the lovely things that we're just used to people saying about us. That was all happening. So we were yelling back at them. But by and large, it was a really good rally, and there was a lot of people there. Now, but I walked up through Hyde Park and I met the American guys down here at the rally. So as I was walking through Hyde Park, there was this really lovely wedding going on between this guy and a girl, and it was in the middle of Hyde Park, and it was so beautiful. Like, it was just exquisite. Like, it was just a really nice day. The bride was dressed in white. It was just a really beautiful wedding. And I remember walking past it, and I thought, how wonderful. And I was so happy for them, but a part of it hurt because at that time I didn't have the same rights. Now, I don't want to get married to anybody, but I just believe that I should have the same right as everybody else. It's called marriage equality, you know? And there was all these arguments about, people were saying in the media here, it will interfere with the sanctity of straight marriage. Well, it's if it's interfering with the sanctity of your straight marriage, then maybe the person that you're married to isn't straight. I'll just say that as well. I'm getting on my high horse here, but that's what that was about. So, for this woman, what's her name? What's her name? For this lady, for Kim Davis. So, she's. I don't know. I don't know what her motive is for doing this. I don't want to get into her head, but that's the situation that we're at right now. Now, I think I would never tell anybody that anything that I believe is right. It's right for me, but I don't have the right to say to anybody else, hey, you've got to believe what I believe. I would just never say that because I don't have that right. I would never say to anybody, like it's even with tarot readings, right? It's just like, you take the readings and you use your intuition, see what resonates with you. Like a tarot reading is for me, it's like advice from a good friend that you're weighing with everything else. But I've got friends of mine that have said to me they're not into the tarot, and that's fine. I don't care. They're into things that I'm not into. I don't care. Everybody has the right to be who they are. Everybody has the right to express themselves how they are. Everybody has a right to be free in who they are, but nobody has a right to tell other people what to do. Nobody. I don't have the right to tell anybody else how to live their lives. As I'm not interfering with anybody else's lifestyle. I'm doing my own thing. And so we can agree to disagree. And I get it that people have got strong views on this, but strong views is not an excuse for discrimination. It's not. It's not an excuse for discrimination. So I just wanted to have a look with the marriage equality stuff in the US. So will it be overturned? Will marriage equality be overturned? No, I'm not going to ask that. I'm just going to ask, what's the status of it right? Like, what's the vibe with? It's hard to see. It's such an emotional thing, isn't it? It's such an emotional thing. Okay, what's the future of marriage equality in the States? I'll put it that way. What is the future of marriage equality in the USA? What is the future of marriage equality in the USA? What is the future of marriage equality in the USA? What is the future of marriage equality in the USA? All right, guys, come on down. Okay. Once this is all upside down again. Queen of Cups. Wow. Okay. Ouch. So, what do you think, Alan? Okay, so what's the energies with marriage equality in the States? King of Wands. I think this is people are taking action on both sides. I think this is this woman, whatever her name is again, Kim Davis, and I think what she's wanting to do or ask the Supreme Court to do. It's a call to arms for gay and lesbian people in the States, and I would say worldwide, because we need to stick together with this. It's a real call to arms, and there's a lot of energy in this. There's a lot of fire in this. There's a lot of people taking action on both sides, and there's a lot of emotion as well. But what I'm afraid of is if you look in here, the Queen of Cups in Lena's deck, the cup's open, right? Looks like it's opened. And I'm wondering, has this broken the seal of people that want to get rid of marriage equality? Is that what this is going to do? All these bigots out there and all these xenophobes and homophobes, and is this opening up Pandora's box? Which is what there's going to be a fight about this. Because people just want to get on with their lives and celebrate who they are. People have the right, as I said before, it doesn't matter who you are, who you love, whatever, what color your skin is, you have the right to get on with your own life. And with the Three of Cups, they're just doing their own thing. They're not interfering with other people. They're just doing their own thing. I do think with the Six of Swords, I do think that there will be people, gay and lesbian people in America that will be thinking, oh, bloody hell, is this going to get bad? Do we need to leave the country? I think there'll be an element of that. People will be wanting to seek refuge if this continues. If this continues to go through, or this notion continues, this continues as this cup has been opened. And, because people are afraid of underneath it, a tower moment caused by the manipulation. So it's not the reading I would have liked, to be honest, but I'm wondering if marriage equality is heading for a tower moment because of the manipulation of the Supreme Court. So once again, guys, nothing in tarot was set in stone, but I think just got to keep vigilant, guys, and just got to keep fighting. I've always said with this administration, and I've always felt that it's like everything in life, it's transitional, right? It's not forever, it's transitional. But this worries me, to be honest. This worries me, to be honest. So once again, guys, the most important thing is to do what you can do to protest. Jump onto Gavin Newsom's website, get involved, and become part of the resistance, because nothing in tarot is set in stone. It's just the current energies right now. But the current energies, that's what this woman wants to do. She wants to manipulate her way through to overturn this. That's what she wants to do with the Supreme Court. And like I said, what I read today was that who was it? Alito and Thomas, surprise, surprise, have been on record to say that they want to take marriage equality away. And like I said, with the Trump's administration stuff, when they did their report on international human rights, they took out entire sections on discrimination against LGBTQ plus and racial minorities. So it's just a real fight for the democracy right now, and it's a fight that I do believe we will win. I do believe we'll get there, but we're just going to be in for a bumpy ride, and we've just got to stick together and hold on to the small victories, any victory that we can get. And like I said, I do think I'm relieved that with Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, he's just kind of really sticking his finger up at the Yeti and just making it clear that he's not welcome, and making those statements and what's the word? Not trailing him, but there's a word which I can't think of, that trolling him. Yeah, he's trolling him, like with that social media post about wanting to, I'm your favorite governor, and I should have the Nobel Peace Prize. Like he's trolling that. But also remember too that the Yeti is in the thick of the speculation and the allegations of the stuff with Epstein. Entertainment only YouTube, and once again, these are just allegedly, right? Allegedly happening. So this ain't over. There's a lot of stuff in the mix going around right now. It's bubbling, it's like that lava, it's bubbling up. Um, but this isn't over. This is far from over. But I think it's just a warning to be aware that that's what they want to do with this. I guess that's probably the safest thing that I can say. Just to be aware with marriage equality, this is what they want to do, and it will all be manipulation to end it. So until we get a new Supreme Court, which I believe will happen, I believe it will happen. So yeah, guys, that's my readings for today. I'm going to get some rest. I've got to say that I had some medications before I came on, and I can already feel that this is starting to loosen up here. So I took some stuff, some vitamins and some painkillers. But yeah, what I took, some electrolytes I took they're good for muscles. So yeah, because I used to be a nurse, so I'm actually feeling that's actually starting to loosen up a bit now, which is good. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. I'll be back soon. It's been good to catch up with you, and I know that's been a bit of a strange reading, but it was a bit of a struggle at the beginning, but we got there, as we always do. Take care, guys. Thank you once again for spending some time with me. Thank you for listening to my readings. Love you all very much. I'll be back soon, and nice to be back. And you take care, and bye for now. Okay, see ya. Bye. And we're gone.